This is probably one of the best deals in Round Rock, Texas. If you're looking for a duplex, you have to check this one out. It won't be on the market for long, I guarantee it. In fact, they've noted that there are already multiple offers. So if you're interested in something like that in the Round Rock, Texas area, which is north of Austin, Texas, then you'll want to take a look at this. First, I go by Ian of Austin everywhere on the internet, and I've done a lot of investment properties. I've done a lot of duplex properties, quadplex properties, resale properties, and so I want to show you why this, like how I would evaluate something like this. There's so many positives for this, and if you're interested in a property like this, you can always find on ianofAustin.com. /investments, or if you just go to ianofAustin.com, you'll be able to see that. So let's start off by taking a look at, let me start by talking about the fact that this is a duplex property. So you have a potential for dual income if you wanted to turn this into an investment. And with the neighborhood that we're in, and let me talk about this real quick before I spend too much time in the property. With the neighborhood that we're in, we are in no HOA and a low property tax rate considering everywhere else in the Texas area. So there's large trees. You can kind of get a feel for the neighborhood. It's a little bit more established. It's not like it's a new construction neighborhood. So you're not dealing with a lot of the, I'm not gonna call them issues. You're not gonna deal with a lot of the same things that you'll encounter when you're trying to rent out a home in a neighborhood where there's still new construction going on. Namely, competition. Right, that's a big one. So this one, it's resale, it's established, there's low property taxes and no HOA. So it's wonderful for long-term rentals, short-term rentals, and medium-term rentals. And so this is a really, really clutch property for that. So everything seems to have been redone already. It's interesting because this particular unit or set of units is owned by the city of Round Rock. And so I'm sure there's a story there. But as you're walking through, you can see that the finishes have been updated, especially the floors. They went with the vinyl plank, and the vinyl plank, which is waterproof, water resistant, right? In the wet areas and in the main area. So they can put down this same floor, and they chose a nice one. It's easy to walk on. It's got a little bit of bounce. Right? If you drop something, it's not going to break, and it's probably easy to find a replacement. They might even have extras laying around here. So it's a wonderful floor, water resistant, maybe even waterproof for a certain amount of time, and it's throughout both units. And so these units mirror each other. It's really, really good the way they have it set up. So they mirror each other. This side is staged, and then the other side is vacant. So I'll show you both. So right now we're in the primary bedroom, and you can see that there's some things that could be improved upon, right? So we've got like popcorn ceilings. There's no fans in the bedrooms. That could be added. I think that would be a great addition. The blinds are probably the lowest cost blinds that you can get. And then even in the primary bath, you can see that this window, while it is not a new window, it seems solid enough. But also, I like that it's frosted, but also I would worry a little bit about what the utility cost might be, but the potential upside and profitability to this unit, I wouldn't even worry so much about that. You have to do the math. You have to figure out what it would cost to replace the windows if you were renting this out. I'm in the closet. All right, so a good closet. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, and keep an eye on things like your vents, your vent in your bathroom. There's a lot of dust there, so it probably has never been updated or cleaned. So that's something that I would pay attention to. A lot of the mirrors, they were just kind of painted over here, little touch-ups all over the wall. So you don't know, without an inspection or without a little bit of knowledge, you don't necessarily know what the condition of the home might be, but at face value, it looks really good. It looks really good for an investment opportunity, maybe even for a first-time buyer. I could see that. Who wants to move into a neighborhood like this and have a rental property that's helping them pay down their mortgage or improve their equitable position for the home? So a little bit of extra storage shelves. I don't know if I showed you the bath, but I will actually go in and show you the bath. So I would change the shower heads, paint the cabinets, replace the vents, make sure they're nice and clean. You can see that they put, so a lot of this is the granite countertops. They have it in there in the bathrooms and in the kitchen. This one's more of a matte. And so you can see that they just replaced the cabinets. probably replace the toilets after they replace the floors. And then this looks like an outfitted tub unit where you just kind of slide that in. But that's okay because it still serves the functional purpose. You can see when they painted, oh, I can't tell, but obviously there's a little bit of paint that could be touched up on the unit. Looks like they replaced the doorbell. Maybe they got new doorbell units, new fixtures a little bit. Okay, and then I like the angle of the ceiling. In fact, it's really cool. This is a fake TV, by the way. This is a staged TV. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a great position if you wanted to put a projector up there and project on the wall here, or do a short throw here, or maybe even do a short throw here with some blackout blinds or curtains. That could be fun. This is kind of a weird space to put that. Door stop, yeah, this is a pretty cool unit. Okay, so it's, what is it, quartz? It's either quartz, stone. I don't think it's a granite. I think it's one of the engineered ones. And if it is a granite, I mean, the point is, it's not the older style, or, almost particle board where you can pull it up real easy. Also, this neighborhood has gas, natural gas, where 50% of the neighborhoods in the Austin, Texas area might have electric only. And so if you're coming from another state, like California is trying to work on electric only stuff, New York has boiler rooms, like boilers and stuff so we have natural gas here. We're not talking propane. So it's really a very unique possibility because, again, natural gas is really exciting for a lot of people who enjoy cooking or want to heat their home if for some reason the electric costs more in the area. So that fluctuates in Texas. Right now, I think gas is generally more reasonable price point than electric. So all sorts of great stuff. They put some LED lights. That's not an LED light. I don't even know what that is. It looks like it's painted over. So you've got your pantry here. And I'm spinning, yeah, you can, look at this, right? This needs to be redone, but that's super quick, super easy. Just cosmetic stuff. Take this down. Come on, for real? Easy stuff, right? These doors, I'm going to talk about the doors in a second, but let me go into the garage. Okay, so the garage is a single unit. You can't fit more than one car in here, and it does not have a garage door opener, so you'd want to work on that. You can see some settling cracks along here, along there. Looks like a scuttle up here for something. Your HVAC unit is in here. Right, so whenever you're looking at a duplex property or any kind of multifamily property, you want to check to make sure that the appliances, the major home systems, if you're looking for a replacement as part of your negotiation, you want to make sure they were both replaced, not just one. That happens a lot where somebody will replace one water heater or one HVAC unit but not do the other one. And it's like, well, if they were both end of life and needed to be replaced, why not replace them both, right? So some people will try to save money that way, and as an investor, you want to be conscientious of that. I like that the garage door has a window in here, and so we can go out the back. Sorry for putting you all close in my face, but there we go. Okay, so an extra little storage unit where there's also the water heater, same rule applies. That's interesting. We've got that little vent so it doesn't get too hot in here. Okay. All right, so we can already see that the condenser unit was not put in the last couple months, right? I don't know what year this is or when this was last done. It doesn't look like it's that old, actually. You've got the siding. So keep in mind that having siding like this, when you do have to replace it, it could be a substantial cost. So you always want to check to see if there's any kind of rot under there, any kind of termites, right, for siding like this. There's no gutters, which we'll talk about in the front of the home, but there are no gutters here, so that's a consideration. And then there's no covered patio. And so as an investment property, it's less important in most cases, I think. Depends on what style of investment. If you're doing long-term, it might be a little more important, but if you're doing Airbnbs and somebody's only going to be here, or VRBO or something, and they're only going to be here for a couple days, well, it's less likely that they'll care, and you could always just put a covered umbrella up there. So you've got your cover in case it freezes, cover the spigots here, another view of that window out here. And you can see this siding, I think they just painted over it to try to get it to look a little nicer. All right. I don't know what's happening here. Probably runoff because there's no gutters. And then you can now already see, you might not be able to see it in the camera, but I can see that it's kind of sloped this way. And then the grass hill goes out. So that means there's probably pooling, a little bit of pooling right here, going that direction. And so you've got utilities here. This is probably what, cable? Yeah, underground cable from AT&T. So few things. One, because there's no HOA, you might have the bright idea to try to build something. I don't know what, like a shed or whatever. But if you did, you've got to worry about the easement, the utility easement line, so you can't just build anywhere. But also, if for some reason AT&T needed to access this, there are a few things to consider. One, if they needed to access it, they could just rip up the line and it might go out to the street. So they can just come in your yard and rip up the line. So that's number one. Number two is that particular box, and I don't know this for sure. You'll have to do your due diligence when we're working on putting in an offer for a property like this. But it could be that this particular unit is something that's connected to all of the properties that are close by. So that home, this home, and then maybe over on the other side of the fence might all use this same box and tie into the same box. So if any of these other people have problems, then they might have to actually tap into this particular box. So you've got people that are walking into your yard because your neighbors have an issue. You can see that specifically in a lot of areas in Central Texas, we use these same wood planks that you can get at any Home Depot. But you can already tell there's discoloration. There's discoloration generally because they replaced this and maybe they did or didn't put any kind of treatment or weather protection on it. So that's important. Stains. It's just like, I don't know. And then this, what is happening here? Oh my, come on, AT&T. Yeah, see what I mean? And it runs probably over to that box. Okay, trees, always going to be a consideration when you're looking at properties like this. Do you have any vines that are connected or running alongside the properties? Anything that's going to damage the fence, anything that's going to damage the home? How are the root systems when you're looking at properties like this? Again, even though it's an investment property and there's probably not a lot that you have to do, this is absolutely move-in ready considering your base criteria. This is absolutely move-in ready. However, those are the types of things that you want to look at to make sure you're not going to end up in a situation where in 5 years, you're going to have to spend another $50,000 to get it up to snuff. All right. What else do we have? So take a look at the roof, so you'll have to determine with your insurance provider whether or not, have them run a clue report, which will let you know if there were any claims claims submitted for the roof. Plus, we've got seller's disclosures where the sellers have to say whether or not they've had the roof replaced due to hail damage or any other type of issues that have happened over the years, any kind of weather or for whatever reason, right? Okay, so that's the garage. I wanted to show the laundry is in here. So that's always good to see where the laundry is. We talked about the kitchen and the pantry. It's an older home, so they don't have like an ice maker or water out for where their refrigerator goes, and obviously it comes with no refrigerator. Anyway, if you're moving to Texas for the first time, know that it's very common. So all appliances that are affixed are supposed to stay, and so if there's no microwave, if there was an attached microwave, like maybe under this cabinet, that would stay. The oven would stay, and the refrigerator is hit or miss. Right, so half the time it will convey with the property, the other half it won't, and then same with the washer and dryer. Sometimes it comes with the property, sometimes it doesn't. No one takes the refrigerator. Like the oven. If somebody's taking the oven, that's probably an issue. If somebody's taking a built-in microwave, probably an issue. The other thing I wanted to show you were, the closets. I had to laugh at this. Okay, I don't know if it'll translate as well on video, but when you're looking at these doors, remember those little playscapes that kids have that you would get, like the Fisher-Price place? That's what these doors are, the Fisher-Price playscape doors. Oh my God, it's not even painted on the other side. These are very flimsy. I feel like if I could easily punch a hole through this, like through 6 of these without one problem. Wouldn't even break a nail, if you will. Oh, that's so corny. Anyway, so yeah, the doorstop here, doorstop down there. I mean, tell me what you think. What do you think about this particular property? There's no fan in this room. I guess the real question is, knowing this, knowing the location or studying the location, and then looking at the potential of this property, we're going to go over to the other side. What do you think would be a fair price to offer for a property like this? Because like that's really what it is. We're in a market right now where as a buyer, you have a potential to offer not anything you want, but to negotiate a little more heavily in the Austin area than you did this time last year. And so if you're looking for some potential upside and a strong equitable position and aren't scared away from the current interest rates or the political climate or any of that sort of stuff, then this could be a really good deal. So again, this mirrors that side over there. You can see it. I'm just going to kind of walk around and show you a little bit. And like I said, we're in Round Rock, Texas. So a few of the things that are around here, you have the Dell Diamond, which is really cool stadium. They do all sorts of fireworks. They have baseball games. The Round Rock Express plays there. And that's 3 minutes down the road. You have Old Settlers Park, one of the largest parks around in the area. And they do all sorts of things. There's a pool over there. You have all sorts of sporting events and meetups that are done there. There's multiple lakes. It's a really, really cool location. 5 minutes from downtown Round Rock, Texas, which is about 15 minutes. And no. I'm going to go with 22 minutes from either downtown Austin or the Domain, pending traffic. The Domain it's pretty easy to get to the Domain from here, but to get to downtown Austin, if you're taking I-35 and it's rush hour, it's going to take you way too long because there's always an accident. Always, every time. I don't know why. If you're taking Mopac or one of those other roads, it's a little less likely. So again, we are in a good spot with, you need a garage door opener. I mean, you don't need, you could turn this into a gym. You could close that off and do more to make the short-term rental more appealing. So that's definitely an option. Let's check our appliance here. Yep, it looks like probably approximately the same age, but we would check that against the seller's disclosure and with our inspection company. We'd have them look at that for us. All right. Same thing here, water heater, probably about the same age as the other one, or the one on the other side or in the other unit. Okay. See, and so compare the unit for this property, which you can see right here through the fence on this side. Can I get it? There we go. So you can see that unit and the age of that unit compared to, well, let's say this unit. Right? Like if I were a betting man, I would think that the unit on this side is newer and probably will last a little bit longer. See, this is interesting. It's a non-privacy fence. So for rental purposes, just for privacy for my guests, I would probably improve that in some way. I would also probably focus on putting some kind of sound barrier between the two homes. Man, does this need to be cleaned? Or, oh no, that's just the screen. Okay. So for those of you that are just joining, first off, thank you so much for watching and subscribing with me. Once again, I go by ianofAustin on everywhere on the internet, including Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. If you're looking to get something like this, I love working with people that are investing in their future or their family's future. And you can find more houses like this on ianofAustin.com. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about that's really important, probably the most important thing right here, is that in this particular neighborhood, we're right around the corner from like the Turtle Creek subdivision in Round Rock, Texas, and just across I-35, you'll hear like where the Round Rock is, Chisholm Trail, and all that sort of stuff. Is the fact that there's often a lot of movement in this area, and or people that bought these homes didn't understand, may not have understood the weather patterns and the need for moisturizing their foundation. So anyway, all that to say, this home, you can see clearly that it's already had foundation repair done. You can tell by the little cutouts here, and somebody even wrote their names in there. So it's already had foundation repair done, and generally if that happens, then it's warrantable, and that's something that you'll want to check. They put a warranty on the work that they've done, and that should transfer to any new owner that purchases the property. And again, you always want to check those sorts of things. That's what having a good realtor will allow you to do. So I want to take a look. There's no gutters in the front, which means as it's raining, if it rains really heavy, it's going to roll off and land right here and probably sit and create that like way too much moisture and start washing away or eroding that top layer of the foundation, the slab foundation. So yeah, these are the types of things that you want to be cognizant about and just pay attention to, because even though it's a wonderful opportunity and probably a wonderful deal when you consider the price that it's listed at, and if you want to know that, hit me up. You know where to find me. If you're interested in that, like, you still want to be careful and not just jump on it unless you are educated on the process, right? So I think it's a wonderful opportunity. It's not going to last more than a couple days. If you are interested in it, please hit me up. Again, Ian of Austin, anywhere on the internet. I'm super happy that you were able to tour this home with me. And if you have any questions, any more questions, reach out and I would be happy to have the conversation. So let me know in the comments what you think of the property, what you would do with the property, or how much you think it's worth if you were to put in an offer. Thanks so much. See y'all in the next video.